Let me remind you that it was about 6 weeks ago the finalists for the shortlist were announced. There are 3 English language poets nominated for the Trillium Book Award for Poetry. Il y a 6 semaines, le nom des finalistes a été annoncé. 3 poètes de langue anglaise sont en lice pour le prix de poésie Trillium. I'm going to ask each author to stand when I call his or her name. So, here are the nominees. Helen Gurry for Match, published by Coach House Press. Helen, thank you. Jacob MacArthur Mooney for Folk, published by McClellan and Stewart. And our third finalist, Nick Thran for Earworm, published by Nightwood Editions. Those are your 3 finalists for this year's English Language Trillium Book Award for Poetry. Minister Chan, you have the winner's name.
It really gives me great pleasure to announce that the Trillium Book Award for Poetry goes to Nick Tran for Earworm, published by Nightwood Editions.
Earworm is Nick's second collection of poetry. This is how the jury described it. From painted railroads to post-apocalyptic pineapples to walk-off homers, Nick Thran's Earworm listens in on all of our irreducible, inane, and iridescent obsessions and then responds. Here is an answer to why poetry matters, to how alchemical stanzas can turn experience to gold. Earworm is just as likely to make you cry as laugh, long and loud. Nick Thran. And Nick, is Saffron with you as well? Saffron Beckwith from Ampersand, sales representative for Nightwood Editions. There you have our first winner tonight.
Thank you very much. This is terrific. I didn't want to forget anybody, so I have just a list. I want to thank OMDC for this, and to Janet and everybody that's worked so hard, to the jurors, to Nightwood Editions, my press, Silas White, the publisher, Marissa Alps, the publicist, Carlton Wilson, who did the cover, and everyone who works with them. Sorry, I get nervous waking up in the morning here. I take the emerging part of this award very seriously. So, I really appreciate Phil Hall and Ken Babstock, the poet, everybody, but the poets in particular, whose just presence here has reminded me that every book's just kind of like one stone on the path, and to Helen and Jake, who wrote great books, and I'm really looking forward to reading everything they write for a long time. And I didn't, if you bear with me again for another few seconds, I didn't sort of thank the people that helped me edit this book individually in the back of the book, just because I feel sort of disgustingly embarrassed by how many amazing people sort of had their eyes and ears on this. So I'd really like to thank Don Mackay and Karen Soley and Dion Brand up at Banff, and Yusuf Kumanyaka, who was like my hero from when I was like 21, and Megan O'Rourke and Matt Rohr and the other people at New York University. And I want to thank my friend Craig Battle, who's here. He was here when I sort of wrote my first good poem. I hope that, whatever I write, even though we're sort of different paths, is sort of about our experience in the world, not just mine. And I want to thank, lastly, my wife, Sue Sinclair, who's my best editor, my inspiration. And, she can't be here tonight because she's writing like 100 pages of philosophy about the experience of beauty in Newfoundland, and any sort of sadness I feel about her absence is totally obliterated by just how awesome that is. So, Sue, I love you, and thanks very much, everybody.